So I didn't have any plans to watch Marvel Zombies yet until Saturday. I was going to do it Saturday, then give y'all a review afterwards. But then I realized, because I didn't know this, that it's only 4 episodes. It's 4 episodes in about a little over 30 minutes. Well, the last episode was 30 straight, but like the other one's like 38 minutes, 37 minutes, stuff like that. So it's real short. It actually could have just been a full length movie, thinking about it. So after noticing that, I was like, well, let me just watch it real quick. Use up 2.5 hours and see how Marvel Zombies is. And I'm glad I did. It's not great by any means. It's a good watch. It's a good use of 2.5 hours. I'll put it that way. I will tell you that seeing the trailer, I didn't see the second trailer. I saw the first trailer of Marvel Zombies. And if y'all saw my reaction on there, you knew I was excited for two people. Blade / Moon Knight, like he's Blade that's fused with Khonshu, and Spider-Man. You know that famous scene that Spider-Man has? He's in the air, he takes the heads off. I was excited for those two and how the commercial advertises Spider-Man in that one. I'm thinking Spider-Man is going to be like one of the main focuses of this Marvel Zombies. One of them. Because I know it's going to be his other heroes. If you don't know the plot, it's pretty simple. And a zombie apocalypse is happening, and the remaining superheroes in the MCU are trying to not only survive, but find a way to get out of this situation to save the Earth for whatever's left. That's the simplest plot I can give it to you. And to be real, it's not much outside of that. There's little nuggets in there, but I don't want you say it because I don't want to spoil the plot in its fullness. Just know that the remaining superheroes are surviving in a zombie apocalypse that's ran by a certain individual that I will not spoil either. I was surprised on that one. But now, my feelings towards it. Like I said, it's good. The reason it's not great is because I put my hope in something that I shouldn't have. The commercials really fooled me. I can't speak for nobody else, but the commercials fooled me. Because the commercials made it seem like Spider-Man had a big role in this. I'm going to warn you now. Let me say this in the beginning. This is like 2.5 minutes into this review. Let me tell you this right now to get you prepared for this. Spider-Man is barely in this show. Barely. 2.5 hours, he still was barely in it. The commercials, I know show like the highlights. Let me tell you something. The highlights you see in the commercial is all you get in the TV show. There's a couple moments where he's talking and stuff like that, but literally when I say very little, that's exactly what I mean. I just want to give you a heads up. Was it cool to see him? Yes. But would you have felt like you missed something of Spider-Man if you didn't watch the show? No, you can literally turn on the commercials, which I think that was, wrong of Marvel to do, to advertise Spider-Man like he was a big deal in here. Well, he's a big deal, but I'm talking about for us, the viewers, to watch him do something. They put him in a good spotlight like he was going to be one of the front runners of the show, and he wasn't even close to that. So I'm just letting you know. Let me be real with y'all. 2 episodes in, there was no Spider-Man. We got to the 3rd episode. It was like, oh, there he is, and it still was a little bit. So I wish I knew that because I came in expecting him. I will say a good thing though. That was yes, I'll say that it was a good thing that I did like that the commercial showed was Blade / Moon Knight. Blade with the power of Khonshu. I love that it was more of him than what the trailer showed. It was weird. It was like they gave Blade and Spider-Man some nice spotlight in the commercial, but only Blade lived up to the spotlight to where he was in a lot of the scenes in this TV show. And so I was happy about that. But as a person who loves Spider-Man, especially with that cool scene when he ripped the head, I wanted to see more of it. I'm just letting you know now. It doesn't get any better than that scene in that commercial when it comes to Spider-Man highlights. Just so you don't get disappointed. So yeah. But the stakes, the situations that these heroes are in, I'm going to let you know now. Do not get comfortable with a lot of these heroes. Yes, you might have seen them in the movies. You know who they are. This Marvel Zombies is not a series where it's the usual subject to where good guy fights villain beats down the good guy a little bit, but good guy lives at the end. It is not like that. There's a lot of deaths from some of the heroes you like in here. I'm just giving you a heads up. It is not, if it is tough for you to see some heroes die, don't watch it. I'm just letting you know now. But this is an Elseworld story. This is not the MCU that from the movies and stuff. This is its own story. So you don't have to take it too seriously. But yeah, they do a good job with the stakes. There were some moments I was like, dang. Even when you know that there's gonna be a nice amount of deaths in here, still certain characters I was like, dang. I will say there was this one character that I was hurt. I was like, dang it, really? It's like you could have let this certain character. I don't want to say names, that I won't spoil anything. You could have let this certain character live. It was near the end too. I was like, oh, thank God. And then something happened. Oh, I was like, seriously. But there was one hero in here. I had to say, I was wondering if Marvel had the heart to show him die. I was like, let's see if Marvel has the heart to have this superhero get eaten by zombies or something. So that was funny. And they didn't. They didn't show it. And if you haven't, you can put two and two together that this certain individual died, but they didn't have the heart like they did for other characters to see them get eaten or killed immediately and stuff like that. They didn't have the heart for this to do it for this certain one. I was laughing. I was like, yeah, Marvel's like, we're not. He's dead. Just know that he's not alive. We're just going to leave it at that. You ain't going to see it. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was funny. I understand why they didn't do it, but, it's always that dare. It's like, Marvel, I dare you to do it. I dare you to show it on screen. I dare you to do it. It's going to be gruesome and nasty. Let's see if you can do this certain hero like this. And they didn't they didn't have the heart, which is cool. Anyway, but so I did like the stakes in it and the different abilities showcase more. Like certain heroes had more openness with their powers, if that's a good way to say it, where we've seen them in action, but this show gives more room to showcase what they can actually do if they can just let loose. Because that's one thing I did like. These heroes it's not a no kill rule, so you can go all in. And so it's cool to see what these heroes are like all in. Now, obviously, there are some heroes that don't have a no-kill rule, so they're used to it anyway. But the ones that did, it was cool to see. All right, let me see. Kind of like Spider-Man, that commercial. When Spider-Man took the heads of the zombies, he ain't going to do that and if there was no zombies, stuff like that. So to see him go all in, it was different but cool. But, yeah, I will say another thing I didn't like, though. As you can tell, I'm sharing like and then don't like and don't like. But another thing I didn't like was, to be real, it's not that I didn't like it. No, I was disappointed, but I actually turned out liking it near like when the story was going a little further. Was who the main person, the main leader of this show is. Kamala Khan is the leader of I should say the leader. She is the focus of this show. The show is focused on Kamala Khan for the most part and her journey through this. At first, I was like, I like Miss Marvel. I think she was cool. So I don't have a problem with her or the hero. It's just in this situation, that's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, like I said, Peter Parker or Blade or some heroes that I'm really fans of to take the front line. But wasn't the case. It was Kamala Khan. I will say this, though. Like I said, it was a good part about it. The more she was on screen, the more I enjoyed her time. It was kind of like the Miss Marvel show. When Miss Marvel first came out, I wasn't the biggest. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. But then I watched it. I was like, it was good. I hope she's in more future projects. So, it was kind of the same thing. And so I believe I'm at the point now where I'm going to stop doubting Kamala Khan's presence. You know what I'm saying? Where I was like, because when I saw this, I'm like, she's going to be she's the focus of the show? I don't know about that. But the more they showed it, and like I said, I like how they broaden her powers. You see what she can do when she goes all in. I like that. And she had some really overpowered moments. Was that bad or good? For me, I didn't care. To be real, there was moments where if she didn't use her powers in certain ways, a nice amount of heroes would have died. So, I don't mind that. These villains are overpowered, so why not have some heroes? And I don't mind Kamala. So, like I said, a little disappointed at first, but then the more she was in the show, I was like, I like her in here. She actually fits. It makes sense. So, yeah, the violence, yes. They cut no corners with the violence, especially this one scene underwater in this little facility that's underwater. They don't cut no corners, and they do not take their time with it. You see somebody getting ripped in half, you seeing all the insides too. You know, this is not. I wasn't going to say anything, but I realized he's not a spoiler because it was in a commercial. Neymar's a zombie. The scene with him, yeah, that was graphic. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't. Let me know in the comments, the ones who watched it. Is it me, or did they make Neymar extra powerful in this one? Like, there's a scene he was pushing everybody back, and some people that he was pushing back had strength. I was like, I knew Neymar was strong. I never knew he was that strong to handle all of them at once. It's not really much of a spoiler, but he's pushing this boulder while there's like 8 other heroes on the other side, and 2 or 3 have strength, and he's pushing all of them back by himself. I was like, I don't remember him being that strong. Huh. Interesting. So, I don't know. Y'all can let me know there. But there is a surprise hero that I thought was pretty cool, but he did not get the shine that I wanted him to get. 2 of them, actually. Near the end, there was 2 heroes that I was like, oh, that's cool. But then it was very short-lived. So, yeah, this show has some great moments with some great heroes that we all know. But it's kind of like that Spider-Man commercial, like I said at the beginning with Spider-Man. Is very little. Those highlights that Spider-Man had were very little. The other ones these other heroes have is literally 2-3 seconds. Well, a couple of them was like a minute, but that was about it. It's very short-lived, but it's about survival. This whole show is about surviving, how to get out of the situation, because not only is it a zombie apocalypse, but a very powerful hero that we know is a villain here and also terrorizing with the zombies, which makes the zombies even more of a threat. You know, so how to get out of the situation, you'll have to find out. So I'm not going to spoil that. So overall, it was a good watch. I would love to see a second season. And to be real, how they built this show up, it looked like, it don't look like, it is built for a second season. I hope they keep it going. Even if this next one's going to be the last one, that's fine. I want to see how it ends completely. You know, overall, it was a good watch. Was it great? Like, oh my goodness. No, I can't tell you. I'll be lying if I say that. But it was a good, like, first of all, I was like, oh, wow. It was some more like, oh, dang. Like that. But, yeah, I ain't gonna front. It was some big points down for me with Spider-Man because of how they advertise him for him to be very little in this show. Like, Marvel, can y'all stop doing that? I know y'all trying to get viewers, but then have Spider-Man be in there more. Then write him more if you're gonna do that, and do that with other superheroes. Like, I wonder with this new season, if they do a new season. Hopefully, like I said, it's successful enough. They do have a new season. I wonder who are the other heroes they're gonna put in here, because yeah, it's very slim pickings here with these heroes. This zombie apocalypse is real. So I wonder what they're gonna do next season. I threw an idea out there. I was like, you know what would be cool? Is if Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are in this apocalypse as Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously, and they can't change because, you know, they're healing factors. So they're out there somewhere surviving, but they're just having a good old time. They're not really bothered. You know, they can fight for a long time and just live. That would be cool, like, in the next season if they do that. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm down to see more. So, you know, hopefully it's a lot better. Like with showcasing the heroes. But outside of that, stakes, the action, the moments the heroes were there, the ending leading up to a second season possibly, I enjoyed it for a one-time watch. I don't need to see it again, to be real. I saw it once. That was cool for me. But yeah, let me know what you thought if you did see it. It just came out. But if you just saw it, let me know. All right. See you later.